What would you do if your child's dream required moving to another country? For many families, opportunity and talent don't always exist in the same place. For Carla, a Canadian mother of a competitive young tennis player, that reality became clear very quickly. A short visit to Las Vegas for a tennis camp opened the door to a much bigger question. Could they actually build a life in the United States? Today, she shares how that idea turned into a real plan and eventually an E2 investor visa. Just a quick reminder, if you appreciate this in-depth content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more. Now, on with the story. Discovering the opportunity.
Well, my name is Carla, and I'm Canadian, and I have a 13-year-old son. First of all, we traveled throughout the U.S. like probably most people and just love it here. But I have a 13-year-old son who's in competitive tennis, and that was probably the driving force because in the small town that we live in, there's very little tennis and tennis time. And he showed an inclination for tennis, so we came down here to Las Vegas about 3 years ago on a winter break and enrolled him in a 2-week tennis camp. And the people here were so nice, great tennis coach. And we talked about buying a house here. We had always been looking for a place to buy a house. Of course, the economy, we were able to afford to buy a house in Las Vegas. So it started out as just buying a residence, a place that we could come and bring my son for tennis, and a place we could visit, and I guess an investment as well.
What started as a simple tennis camp soon became something more. Carla and her son loved the environment, the coaching, and the opportunities they found in Las Vegas. Soon they began asking a bigger question. What if they could stay longer? Would you consider moving to another country to support your child's dream? Tell us in the comments below. We read everyone.
Finding an immigration path.
Then it turned into further discussions. How can we stay longer? How can I stay longer with my son? And we looked at all the different avenues, the different immigration categories that we could fit into, that I could fit into. And the E2 visa was the one that I could fit into. I'm not a doctor or a nurse or one of those professions that, get in a bit easier because the professions are in demand.
Loving the United States is one thing. Living here legally is another. That's when Carla discovered the E2 Treaty Investor Visa, an option available to citizens of treaty countries like Canada. Here's how it works. To qualify for an E2 visa, you must invest a substantial amount in a real U.S. business. The money must be at risk, meaning it's already committed to the business. The business must be active and capable of growth, not just supporting your personal expenses. And you must direct and manage the company, not simply invest passively. For Canadians, the process is typically done through a U.S. consulate interview, and processing often takes a few months. One big advantage, your spouse can work in the U.S. and your children can attend school. Would starting a business in another country feel like an exciting opportunity or a huge risk? Tell us what you think in the comments.
Buying and learning the business.
So this was the route. Finding a business that qualified for the E2 visa. It took a bit of time. It seemed like a good little business, solid track record. It's been here for 19 years. And the books looked good in terms of a franchise in particular, because all the reports are generated every month right on the computer system, and they're pulled from the headquarters. There's no fudging the revenue side at all. But it's 4 weeks of training, and it's 2 weeks in store. Every city has what they call the training store. So the one here is in Henderson. It's a store twice this big. It's just a regular operating store with a owner like me, but they've qualified to be a training store. And you go there 1 week, and then you go to San Diego.
Buying a business in a new country is never easy. The first months are full of learning, new systems, and unexpected challenges. But once the team was trained and the business stabilized, things began to fall into place. And most importantly, her son had the environment he needed to continue pursuing tennis. What do you think would be the hardest part of starting a new life in another country? Tell us below.
Building a new life in the U.S.
Yeah, you know what? I am. I have to say, it's always a lot of work when you take over a business in the beginning, for sure. But even after the first month, I could see. I don't want to say the light at the end of the tunnel, but now that I've got trained staff in place, now it's become easier for me. I have finally, am breathing to deal with the other things that an owner has to deal with, the other kinds of paperwork, instead of just being out in the front counter. But yes, I do like it. I mean, I'm glad that I'm not doing food, but you might want to edit.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick challenge. Throughout Carla's journey, you heard about the E2 investor visa, the pathway that allowed her family to build a life in the United States. But how much do you actually know about it? Let's test your knowledge with a quick quiz.
Question 1. True or false? The E2 visa allows someone to live in the United States by investing in a business. Answer: true. Question 2. Is there a fixed minimum investment amount required for an E2 visa? Answer: no. There's no fixed number, but many investments range between $80,000 and $300,000, depending on the business. Question 3. True or false? The investment funds can stay in your personal bank account during the application. Answer: false. The funds must already be committed and at risk in the business. Question 4. True or false? Can the spouse of an E2 visa holder work in the United States? Answer: yes. Question 5. True or false? The E2 visa automatically gives you a green card. Answer: false. It's a renewable, non-immigrant visa. How many did you get right? Share your score in the comments below. We'd love to see it.
What started as a simple tennis camp trip turned into something much bigger: a business, an E2 investor visa, and a new life in the United States for Carla and her son. Along the way, the process required key steps: finding the right business, working with an experienced immigration lawyer, setting up U.S. banking and paperwork, and learning how to successfully run the business. Stories like Carla's show that immigration journeys are often driven by something deeply personal: a dream, an opportunity, or the desire to create a better future. And sometimes, all it takes is the courage to take the first step. What part of his story inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments, and follow our channel for more stories just like this.